Hi everybody, this is Heather from the Eastern Panhandle Conservation District, and this is
Lillian.
and today we are here to talk about seeds, how to watch seeds grow, and some things that you can start seeds in to be able to see them. So today we are actually going to be taking a sandwich baggie and making a little construction paper greenhouse. So here I just have Heather's greenhouse, decorated it kind of like a house. And this is going to be my little seed starting greenhouse that I am going to hang in a sunny window. You can see Lily's there. She's got kind of the shell of her greenhouse, so she's got a smiley face on one side. What's on the other side, Lily? And then she had made kind of a house, what I had made on the front side of hers as well. So this is a really adaptable project to use a variety of different things to be able to start your seeds. So like I said, today we're just going to be using sandwich baggies. You can use a quart size bag, the snack size bags, whatever you have available. If you have clear balloons, they actually work great for starting seeds and making a little greenhouse. The clear balloons work because, of course, they let the sunlight in, and you can also see the growth of your seed as it is growing. Other ideas that you can use that aren't exactly quite a closed system like what we're doing, you can, if you have like a strawberry container, any of these like plastic clamshell containers work really great. If they've got holes in them, I do recommend maybe lining them with some newspaper just so you don't have soil and water leaking out everywhere. You can also do the same thing with like those big like deli platters or a cake platter to be able to start seeds in, and plus that gives you a lot larger area to work with to plant a lot more. You can also take just clear cups, fill it up, and then create a dome like this. And it creates a nice little warm environment, greenhouse type environment to start some seeds. You can also start them either in milk jugs, kind of open them up a little bit, or you can cut the bottoms off of milk jugs if you've got plants that are outside, if you're worried about frost. Or you're trying to get them started a little early. You can put the milk jug on top of this little seedling, and it'll help insulate that seedling and help it grow a little bit quicker and keep it much warmer in there. So other ideas that you could do, again, Tupperware, if you had any old windows or glass doors, you could do the same thing. But for the purpose of today, we're going to be using these sandwich baggies to create our little greenhouses. So to get started, so you can get your sandwich bag, and materials that you're going to need, of course, are your sandwich bag, some construction paper. You're going to need markers. You're going to need some scissors to, if you want to cut it out into a special shape or something like that. And of course, to be able to have your peephole for your baggie to go through. You can use tape. Yeah, and we're going to need seeds. Scotch tape works, duct tape works, any kind of tape. And of course your seeds, like Lily said, and also water. I use a spray bottle, but just a cup of water will work too, whatever you prefer. All right, Lily. So since Lily already has her little greenhouse outline made, we're going to go ahead and get our sandwich baggie, and she's going to fill it up with some soil. All right. And then we're just going to kind of go, can you make sure all the clumps are out? And so just have them go through and make sure all the clumps of the soil are out. I didn't use the most expensive potting soil out there. I just kind of found whatever was the cheapest. So typically it has a little bit larger chunks of mulch and things like that. So just get all of those chunks out. All right. And then I have here 3 just bush green bean seeds. So Lily, you can put those in there, plant them all in a row like you're going to plant them outside. Okay. All right. So we've got our bean seeds here, and you can kind of see. So you can do maybe some experiments with your children. Have some of the seeds maybe showing. Have some of the seeds maybe just on the side, so you'll be able to see and see if they actually do germinate and watch that process. You can maybe add more soil or less soil to see if that makes a difference. All right, so we need to water it now. All right, you want to get your spray bottle? All right, and then like I said, I have a spray bottle, and I'm just gonna spray this soil until it's nice and moist. So think about a sponge. You don't want the sponge with the water wringing wet and coming out, of course, but you want to be able to squeeze it as well, so you don't want it too dry. So that's about the right moisture level that you're gonna want your potting soil. Spray, spray. There we go. All right. So once your water is done, okay, that's good. All right, so you want to leave just a little bit of air in there. All right, and then we are going to zip it up nice and tight. Okay, parents, if you got little ones, just, make sure that it is actually zipped up tight. And then you're going to want to take your tape. All right, put it here, anything. Put it on the back side of your house that you created. Okay, and then you take tape. I'll take tape. Sure, we'll go. All right, and then you'll want to tape it down to the sides of your paper. All right, we'll just fold that over there. All right, so there you can see that we have our little greenhouse baggie with our seeds. So this is kind of what your end product is going to look like. Hang it up in a nice sunny window and kind of try to watch it sprout. If you want to do some lesson extension activities with this, you can go several different ways. Again, like I said, with the experimenting about the soils or the seed placement, you can do that. For a lot of the classes, I've created this little observation sheet. It's just really simple. So I have the name and what seed was planted. Sometimes the classes will plant, half the class will plant one species, the other half will plant another species, and then we'll be able to do some comparing and contrasting with that. But we just have the day, if any changes were noted, what changes, what observations we saw, and some reasonings why. So if we just see that, maybe there wasn't any changes because their germination hasn't taken place yet. Or if we saw some roots growing, okay, we know that germination has started. So you can just continue this little simple log, again, change it to whatever experiment you're trying to do to incorporate some science and some writing and some higher level thinking in there. Another thing that you can do is a version of the water cycle. Again, it's kind of like a water cycle in the bag in the same lesson that we're doing with these seeds because it is a closed system. So once you put it in that sunny window, it's going to initiate that water cycle. And essentially, you're actually not going to have to water these plants until you take them out. So for the little ones, just a super basic water cycle, of course, evaporation, condensation, precipitation. They'll be able to see the evaporation going up, or they're really not going to be see the evaporation, but they'll be able to have the evaporation. The condensation is going to be those water droplets on the side of the bag, so that's going to be kind of like the clouds. And the precipitation, you'll be able to see those water droplets actually dripping down the sides of the bag, so that's kind of like the rain with the water cycle. So this is a really just simple diagram of the water cycle that you could, again, incorporate as an extension activity with this lesson. For older ones, of course, the water cycle can get a little bit more in depth. This is a diagram from USGS, or the United States Geological Service. And it goes, into more such as fog, evapotranspiration, things like that. So again, depending on the grade level that you're doing, you can modify this as needed. Another thing that I like, because I really like little models, and again, Michael's is a great source to get models from, especially with the younger ones. See if I can get all four of them up at the same time. All right, so we have these little plant sprouting models. So we start out with a seed with a single little root hair, of course, and then if I can get this model right, we start into, just when we start popping up out of the ground, our two leaves, and then our actual plants. So they'll be able, by using models like this, to be able to see what or to know what to expect, especially with the smaller ones, what their plant's going to do. You can also find these on the internet, the stages of germinations and kind of life cycle of the plant. So that's just a super quick activity for seed starting that you can do. This activity I didn't say earlier is also great to use with something like a cotton ball. And you're able to see the whole process a lot more clear because you're not going to have that dark soil in the way. So again, these are all lessons that we typically do during the school year. So next school year, hopefully, if you're interested in any of these programs, we are going to be available. But these are also super easy things that you can do at your house with just everyday household materials. And what a great way to get started on producing your own food. So again, I'm Heather, and
Lillian.
And Abby is in the background. But we hope you enjoyed, and best of luck. Thanks.